Hello everybody and welcome to Advanced Glitch Building episode 2. Today I'm going to be going over a pretty in-depth type of scaffolding that I like to use a lot that is very versatile, and you can do a multitude of different things with it, from giant vortexes to spiraled staircases and conal helixes and, general corkscrews and stuff like that, or even, a frog king if you would like. There's going to be a good handful of different techniques that could lead you to any number of different things that you would like to build. This will take you some time, but if you are a builder like me that doesn't really go into a build knowing exactly how you're going to do every little thing, I think it's great to have a scaffolding setup like this that gives you a lot of different options. There's different measurements you can make that will make the helix or the vortex as tight as you would like it or as loose as you would like it. You can do a lot of different things, and that's the first thing I'm going to show you is exactly how to set up the base scaffolding. I usually only use 32 sides. That's more than enough to get a good curve and a good spiral on what you're doing. I start out with small pavings in this example. The spacing is great, and I have figured out a couple of different ways to divide each of the spaces in between two of them into as many little equal segments that you want, which will make your spiral even looser or tighter depending on how much you split up these little segments. Once you have a 32-sided circle, from that point on you need to build out from each side, one segment at a time, one space in between short pavings at a time. Do this for each of the 32 sides, and that will be the base setup for the rest of the scaffolding. At this point, you can go ahead and build up a helix if you would like, or a spiral if you'd like, or a double spiral, or anything you want. It's just not going to be very well defined. So next, what you're going to want to do is probably divide each of those segments up into smaller little segments. What I've discovered is that you can use small floors and segment each of the sections in between these small pavings into 4 sections. Just snap a small floor into either side of the segment and then use short walls to pull to the adjacent side. And with this measurement, you can go from one line of pulls to the next one all the way around the circle and get closer and closer to the center with each different line of pulls. You can start from the outside like I'm doing here and work your way inside, or you can start from the inside and work your way out for more of a upside down vortex or tornado type thing. It does take a minute to do this, especially if you are like me and like to have multiple different spirals going up and down at once or intertwined with each other. You're going to be doing these tiny little pulls for a good while, but it's worth it in the end. Look at that. It's beautiful. Now, you could, again, start building up your spiral here if you would like. Or you can get spaces even closer together than that. To do this, you can use the segments that you've just made, and instead of doing small floors, you can again use those snap points from the small floors and the short walls, snap some small pavings into those, and then take a floor piece against these sides, and then use a short wall and reverse wire glitch from the edge of that and pull to one of your previous points. If you do this for each of the short pavings you snapped in, you will get 6 different snap points per one section that we had prior. Now, we can go ahead and start building up our spiral, our helix if we want. I'll go ahead and show you this part. It's fairly simple if you understand the mechanics and the way you're supposed to pull wires and get them to be level with each other. To get all of the snap points all the way up the spiral to be perfectly level, you're going to have to build up your center point as well. You do not have to do it this way, but again, I like to do it this way because it leaves a lot more room for adjustments later on to do whatever you want with them. So all you're going to have to do is your first step up, pull whatever height you want your spiral to start out at and whatever gradient you want your spiral to be. Pull that point to another point on the same row that it's on, down. Pull down to another snap point on that same row, and then reverse wire glitch from the center point at the same lever and pull back to that one. Repeat this process moving up in succession and go in following your placements as before, and you will have a spiral. Now, you don't have to make them perfectly level. You can actually just, if you would like, just pull your first wire down at an angle to the same row that it's on, and then pull up from the very base of that stack and then you can just have a vertical snap point in that same position, which again you can do any number of different things with. I prefer this way, like I said before, because I think it's a lot easier for my brain to wrap around exactly what I need to do to adjust each of these snap points in whatever direction I want to. Now the first thing I'm going to show you is one of the many different ways you can utilize all these level snap points. You can pull from one to the previous one in succession, and you will have a nice slow gradient, a nice slow spiral going up that kind of blends in with itself really well. Now, I'm also going to show you right now a way that I like to flip the snap points 90 degrees from this previous technique I just showed you, and then snap a couple things in there, and you get anything you want to point to the next spot perfectly and make basically anything seamlessly go into anything else. Here's an example I'm doing with just some small walls and snapping them into the spots that you can get with two 4x4 planers stacked inside of each other at a 45-degree angle. You do this at a couple of different segments or all the way up, and you're going to have a little like spiral, kind of like a cylinder-like spiral. Now you can use everything that I've showed you now to really fine-tune this series of techniques into a smaller, really tight version. Like I'm showing you here, this is what I've done a couple of different times. But in order to get something this small and that defined, you need snap points very, very close together. To do this, start with a floor piece, a full-size floor piece, and snap a large row of the pavings away from it. Then snap in as many wood panels as you can, depending on how many pavings you put there. Then fill in all along one length of it with as many short walls as you can. Completely full, all the way up along its length. Once you've done that, do the same thing with the floor panels. Fill all the way along its length. So you will have a long row of floor panels right up against each other. From that point, you can go ahead and delete all the short walls that were there. They're probably only going to get in your way. Then you're going to use a short wall, reverse wire glitch from the very top one, pull to your center point, delete a floor panel, reverse wire from the top, pull to your previous spot, rinse and repeat. Delete the floor panel, reverse wire glitch with the short wall, pull to your previous one. Do this for the entire length, and you will have a row of very, very close together snap points all level with each other. Now, if you do this with each of the 32 points from the center point of a circle, you'll have a setup like that. Or you can just make cool little grids like this where you can snap tons of different things right in a row. Either way, you can use that technique mixed with all the other things I showed you, and you can make just about anything that looks really cool. Tell me what you think of this. Let me know if you guys have any additions to this. I'm always open to learn something new for sure. And also, let me know what you guys build with these techniques. Like I said, they're just setups. You can do an unlimited number of things with all of this. So anyways, hope you all have a great day.